Okay, so good morning and welcome. Our topic today is GT Writing Task 1, otherwise known as your GT Letter Writing. So your writing subtest is the third exam in the IELTS. Listening will be the first test. Reading comes next. And writing is the last among the written component. Kailangan lalakas ko lang itong aking microphone. Audio settings para mas malakas yung dinig sa akin ng mga nasa Zoom. Yan, mas malakas na tayo. Alright, let me rephrase that. So third subtest in the IELTS, listening first, reading second, writing third exam. The speaking test is actually scheduled before, during, or after the day of your written component. So regardless of whether you will be taking your examinations via pen and paper or computer delivered means, we refer to this as written component altogether. So, let us remember that your task 2 for both academic and general training test takers are essentially the same. The questions are the same, the approach is similar. There's no difference whatsoever. So you will learn more about writing task 2 tomorrow at 1 o'clock. If you want to join us here at the branch, you can just Google us, Niner Cabanatuan, search us on Facebook, so you can get the map. So kung naghahanap kayo ng mga landmarks, Sony Service Center, tabi ng Green Lights Home Depot, tapat ng Pure Gold, San Siangco Street, Bernardo District, Cabanatuan City. Kung gusto niyo pong mag-join dito live. Kung gusto niyo pong mag-Zoom, like most of our attendees are doing right now, mas marami pa nga tayong Zoom joiners ngayon kaysa sa legitimate na GT participant dahil isa lang si Sir na GT dito. Pwede po. You just have to access our link immediately, and then kung hindi po kayo maka-join, let's say busy ka, may gagawin ka, magde-date kayo ng jowa mo bukas, tapos sa tanghali, yung kabit mo naman i-date mo, medyo busy ka, hectic ka, meron din po tayong YouTube replay available. So, as I have mentioned, I will be discussing this. This is recorded via Zoom. And after the replay lecture is over, I will upload it on my YouTube channel together with this exact same handout. So naka-PDF po ito. Kung ginagamit ko na yan, PDF yan. And after I upload it, I will attach this file as well kasi marami akong samples dito. If I'm not mistaken, mga 8 o 10 ang samples ko dito sa dulo. No? So, your writing subtest will last for exactly 1 hour or 60 minutes. Now, the thing is, why am I saying that your writing task 1 is only 20 minutes if I have 60 minutes to finish the entire writing test? Well, you need to remember that writing task 2 is more difficult, carries more weight. Task 2 carries 67% of your total writing grade. So we need to do this first. And only 30%, 33 to be exact, is awarded to task 1. So meaning, you will be devoting more time to task 2. You will be doing task 2 first. And your remaining 20 minutes shall now be devoted to your writing task 1. At the end of the day, this is GT letter. It's not a difficult task. Especially later, you will understand that bibigay ko na yung mga puzzle pieces. Paano kapag ito ang question? Paano magiging atake dito? No? So, that's it. So, letter writing. Task 1 is to compose a letter in which you need to request or give information and or to explain a problem. You need to be able to do any of the following. You need to ask for and or provide general factual information. You need to be also able to express needs, wants, likes, and dislikes. Express opinions or complaints, making requests, suggestions, recommendations, because your prompt for task 1 will require you either to supply information or to inquire information. Either way, if you are good at doing any of the following, you're already halfway through passing your test. So here are sample prompts in your exam. Writing to a college accommodation officer about problems in your accommodation. Writing to a new employer about time management problems. Writing to a local newspaper about plan to develop a local airport. Writing a letter in response to a complaint about you. Writing to a renting agency to sort out problems with the heating system of the house. And writing to an English-speaking friend to thank them for helping you with something. Now, here's the catch. Have you ever experienced any of these? Hindi pa, di ba? Like, sa buong buhay ba natin, nagsulat na ba tayo sa isang local newspaper kasi hindi tayo pabor sa gagawing local airport sa lugar natin? Hindi pa, di ba? So, yung letter writing, karamihan dyan o lahat dyan ng sitwasyon dyan, gawa-gawa lang. Gawa-gawa lang. Hindi mo siya naranasan talaga sa buhay mo. So, these are imaginary scenarios. And you will be writing an imaginary letter. So, lahat ng isusulat mo dito ay pawang kasinungalingan lamang. Kaya kung isa kong napuno kang sinungaling, malapit ka na talagang pumasa dito sa exam. No? Lahat po ng nandyan. Kasi ang problema dito sa kultura natin sa Pilipinas, pag may nag-arise na negative situation, gusto natin suntukan agad eh. Di ba? Halimbawa, ginit-git ka sa traffic, bababaan mo agad ng ano yan. Pungkain naman, suntukan tayo. Di ba? Yes. Gusto na, ano tayo, mahilig tayo makipagbabag. Mahilig tayo makipagsigawan, makipagtalakan. Pero hindi tayo mahilig magsulat ng letter. Like, nagawan ka ng mali ng kapwa mo, sulat ka ng letter. Paano ako sa'yo? Hindi ganun eh, di ba? Halimbawa, nag-ingay sila sa karaoke. Mga 2:30 na. Tapos ang mga kanta pa nila, mga ages, mga di naman nila abot. No? Tapos ang lakas pa rin ng volume. Hindi tayo susulat eh. Kinabukasan, naabala kami, hindi kami nakatulog sa inyo, ganyan. Tapos mag-a-apologize sila, letter din. Hindi. Anong ginagawa natin? Binabato natin ang kapitbahay. So, ang letter writing po ay puro kasinungalingan lamang. Yan. So, what are the criteria? Same lang din po ng writing task 2. You still have your task response, coherence, cohesion, vocab, grammar, all of which will contribute doon sa assessment factors. Pero yung completeness at saka yung narrative of the context being followed is going to give you a lot of points, no? It will allow you to get more points earlier. So sinamarize natin yung lahat ng principles yan into 3. So we have the responsiveness, we have the tone, and we have the structure. So ito pong ini-skip ko na to. Ang tawag natin dyan is a task description. Task description begins with a reminder of how much time you have left to complete the task, which is this prescribed time of 20 minutes. Now, this will end with the number of words you are to complete the letter and some special instructions that could potentially help you make your letter better. So, the entire thing is what we call the task description. So, let's break this into part. This is what we call the narrative of the context, which you have to assimilate later in your essay. In your letter. You live in a room in college which you share with another student. However, there are many problems with this arrangement and you find it very difficult to work. So, kung isipin mo, teka, nag-dorm ba ako ng college? Ay, hindi. Kasi nag-uwian lang ako ng college. So, hindi ito sitwasyon na naranasan mo din personal. So, i-imaginein mo lang na merong kang roommate, no, na may kasama ka sa room, share kayo, tapos nahihirapan ka na kasama siya. Bakit? Posibleng malakas siya maghilig, o nagdadala siya ng mga barkada doon, nagiinuman sila. Ikaw, syempre, nag-aaral ka, nandun ka sa taas ng double deck, tapos sila yosin ng yosin. Diba? So, naapektuhan yung pag-aaral mo. So, gagawa ka ngayon ng storya para siraan siya. Doon tayo magaling diba? Sa paninira sa kapwa at gumawa ng mga gawa-gawang kwento. So, yan po. Ang ating letter writing. So, responsiveness is the completeness of your task, which means you were able to fulfill the more than 150 words required. Ibig sabihin, kung mas mababa ka sa 150, nagsulat ka lang ng 100 to 149 words. Basically, 1 to 50 words fewer than the prescribed number of words needed to fulfill this. Meron kang deduction dyan. Ang automatic task response score mo dyan ay magiging 5. At ang penalty mo ay 1. So, ibig sabihin, yung penalty na 1, magmamaterialize lang yan kapag in-add mo lahat ng score mo together. So, kung yung responsiveness mo ay nakakuha ng 5, yung coherence mo nakakuha ng 7, yung grammar mo nakakuha ng 8, yung vocab nakakuha ng 8, gawin na rin natin tong 8, ang total niyan ay 7 pa din. Pero dahil may penalty ka na 1, 6 na lang yung total score mo. At yung makakuha po ng 8 na to ay hindi biro because sa talambuhay po ng ating GT letter writing, isa pa lang po ang nakakuha ng 8 sa GT. Sa writing. So, ang hirap niya. Sa 7,000 estudyante na naturuan natin, isa pa lang sa GT nakakuha ng 8. So, kahit nakasinggaling mo siya, dahil kulang ka sa words, sa is lang ang maximum score mo. So, anong dapat gawin? Dapat yung word number ay i-observe. At madali pong gawin yon ngayon, lalo na ngayon dahil naka-computer-based tayo, meron po tayong word counter. So, alam mo na sa sarili mo, ay kulang pa ako ng 2 words, kulang pa ako ng 12 words, meron pa akong 5 minutes. So, magmamadali ka na ngayon. Saan ka mag-i-insert? Sa gitna ba? Sa umpisa? Kasi kung sinulat mo siya, mahirap dahil kailangan mo i-adjust yun sa gitna But this time around, since this is computer-based test now, writing has become easier, a lot easier. So, pag hindi nyo po nasunod, let's say, if you misunderstand or omit any bullet point, you'll receive a grade of 4 sa task achievement. Mas mababa pa. So, ano po ba yun? Halimbawa, nakalagay, describe the situation. So, sa letter mo, na-describe yung situation. Na-explain mo yung problem. And say what kind of accommodation you would prefer. Hindi mo ito na-include sa letter. Sabi mo dyan, if you could provide me a new room just for myself, or perhaps be put together in tandem with another student, I would greatly appreciate it. So walang nakitang ganun sa letter mo, na-miss mo yung bullet point yan. Ang ganda-ganda ng letter mo, perfect yung grammar, walang mali sa vocabulary, maganda ang coherence and cohesion, tone structure, nasundan niya na mabuti, pero hindi lang na ilagay ito. 4 ang task response mo. Di ba? No? Sabihin ko sa inyo guys ang letter writing ay mas madali kaysa sa ACAD, Statistical Report Writing. Pero, kapag may hindi ka nasundan dyan sa tatlo na to, yari na. Okay po? So, dapat lagi niyong iisipin ang bullet points. Nandyan po talaga ang buhay niya. Yes, sir?
Yung question po na parang naka-bullet point din po siya.
Nakaganyan din siya. Kung hindi man siya naka-bullet point, naka-hyphen, kung hindi man naka-hyphen, magkakastack yan on top of each other. Pero yun yung bullet points na tinatawag na.
Kung na-reset ka rin po, naka-hyphen, tapos imagine mo na lang po na naka-bullet point.
Yes, oo. So, etong describe the situation. Halimbawa lang, sinasabi ni sir, paano kung hindi ko nakita tong bullet? Bullet pa rin yan. Kahit wala yung bullet, yan pa rin yung bullet points. Okay, ayan, dinedit natin Kasi hindi mo naman literal na makikita may ganyan Sa exam Yan wala yung mga blue na yan. Ganyan na ganyan lang. So dahil hindi mo nakita yung bullet, ibig sabihin mo na walang bullet. Ito yung bullet. Ayan, yan, tsaka yan. Kuha? Alright. So, ito po yung original na answer sheet before. Kulay yellow ito kapag GT, kulay gray pag academic. Kaiba yung color. So, ito yung sinasabi nating task achievement, coherence, cohesion, vocab, lexical resource, grammar, under length, kung di ka abot sa number of words, which is more than 150. Number of words, penalty. Kapag hindi ka umabot nga dyan, meron kang penalty, off topic. So, you only provide what is included in your task. Hindi ka magdadagdag dyan ng mga... Bawal tayong bumawas, bawal din tayong dumagdag. No? Ng mga hindi naman kailangan. Memorized. Sagutin ko lang call. Hello? Sige, send ko na kay Bea ngayon. Okay, sige. Okay guys, pause lang ako ng 2 minutes. Meron lang daw akong kailangan isend na letter. Alright, so we're back. Examiner 1 will be your original examiner, while your examiner 2 is going to come to the picture if you avail a recheck. So your recheck process, ipopost ko yon next Thursday. Para alam nyo paano ba magpa-recheck, ano ba yung recheck, Ano ba yung combination ng score? Kasi gumagana yan. Halimbawa, nag-exam ka, tapos kinapos ka ng 0.5 lang. Recheck yan. Bawa, speaking, wag naman sana, 6.5, kulang ka lang ng 0.5. Nagpa-recheck ka, tapos after 3 days, nag-email sa'yo, congratulations, your scores improved from 6.5 to 7. Sa Webes ko nga siya ipopost. Okay? Dahil tagkalahating oras na discussion yan. So, isang recheck at saka isang combination ng band score. Kasi iba-ibang bansa, iba-iba requirement. So, yon. Continue tayo. Tone is the most important criteria. How can you set the tone? Actually, you can't. The tone is set by the would-be recipient. So, yung receiver ng letter o yung kunwari natatanggap ng letter, siya yung magsiset ng tone. At may dalawa tayong uri ng tone. Si formal at informal. Kung kay ACAD, meron tayong tinatawag na process at saka static. Dito naman, meron tayong formal at informal. Ang mas common, formal or informal? Nakalagay na yung sagot, oh. Formal is the most common in the IELTS exam. Kaya siya ka-common. So, sa isang buwan, may 4 na linggo, may 4 na test, tatlo doon, formal. Isa lang ilalabas na informal. So, ibig sabihin ba nun, hindi ka na dapat mag-practice ng informal? Pa-practice ka pa din. Mas madalas nga lang ang formal na practice. Yan. Malinaw? Diba? Kaya, pag nagle-lecture ako, lagi sinasabi, mas favorite ko yung mga GT. Kasi ganito lang kami. Kahit nga mag-shorts lang ako dito, ganun lang kaming ka-relax dito sa klase. Napaka-chill lang. Na? Kung formal ang tone, keep your letter precise. Ibig sabihin, hindi ka pwedeng magdagdag ng mga information na hindi naman required. Answer all the bullet points. Do not abbreviate words. Bawal kang mag-shortcut. Yung mga I'm, bawal yan. Yung mga his, mga spelling na ganito. Mga ganyan. Bawal yan. Mga ganyan. Bawal yan. Sa formal. Pero kung informal, they are okay. We're fine. Ang problema lang, kapag nagganito ka, won't. Kasi si won't is abbreviation ng will not. Ang count mo ngayon dyan ay 1 word lang. Kung nag-will not ka, 2 words yun. So ano ngayon ang susundin mo? Para hindi ka malito, alis mo na yung contraction. Kahit informal. Okay? Alis mo na siya. Para maging sa task 2, bawal kasi tayo mag-contraction sa task 2. So, hindi mo na siya magawa. Okay? Total, 1/4 lang ang tsansa na lumabas ang informal. 2 words mo na lahat. Para ma-count ang 2 words. Actually, yung cannot 1 word po ang spelling yan. Magkadikit dapat itong isa pang N at saka katabi niyang N. Yan. Kaya minsan may mga nagpapacheck sa akin ng letter. Sir, pacheck nga po ako ng letter. Tapos pinasa sa akin, 3 malaking paragraph lang. Okay, hindi ka umatan ng klase, no? Hindi ka nakinig ng klase, no? Kasi ganitong karaming parts ang letter. Opening statement. Dear Sir / Madam. Introductory paragraph. So, introduce who you are without saying your name. And then, ilalagay mo ngayon yung purpose. Middle paragraph is where you answer bullet points. Action paragraph is the action you want the recipient of the letter to undertake or if necessary, your action as the writer of the letter itself. Concluding paragraph, summary. Thank you for taking time reading this letter. If you need to get in touch, you can contact me on God bless you in your good office. Mga ganun na dagdag. Tapos, closing statement. Sincerely yours. Signature, Kevin Mangalabnan. Yan. Nakuha? So, yun po ang parts ng letter natin. Yes?
Siyempre din ilagay po talaga yung signature sa baba as title.
Nung nag-pen and paper based, pwede talaga. Pero yung signature talaga ngayon na literal, hindi mo siya magagawa kasi naka-computer based tayo. Pero ang ilalagay mo dyan, halimbawa, sincerely yours, comma. Sa baba nun, buong pangalan, Kevin Mangalabnan. Sa baba nun, student. Kasi student yung role ko dyan di ba? Pwede mong ilagay yon. Isang word din siya, sayang.
Count as word din siya.
Counted as words din yun. By the way, bago ko pala makalimutan, i-differentiate muna natin ang formal at informal. No? Kailan ba magiging formal ang isang letter at kailan ba siya magiging informal? Paano siya magiging formal? Paano siya magiging informal? Sabi diyan, ang tone is set by the recipient. So, base sa kung sino ang tatanggap ng letter, doon natin madedetermine kung formal ba siya or informal. So, limbawa, write a letter to the accommodation officer. Formal or informal? Bakit? Porkit ba accommodation officer, formal na? Actually, we consider letters formal, or we consider the formal tone for a letter if we will be writing the letter to non-family members tsaka non-friendly terms. Yan. Ibig sabihin, hindi mo kamag-anak, hindi mo kaibigan, hindi mo personal na kakilala. Ang sitwasyon, sumakay ka sa bus, nasira yung suitcase mo. Write a letter to the bus company. Magrereklamo ka na nasira yung suitcase mo kasi kasalanan nila. So, anong tone yun? Formal, dahil hindi mo naman ka mag-anak yung officer doon. Nagkakaintindihan? Si informal naman, lahat ng nasa family and friends circle. So, sino-sino yun? Write a letter to your uncle inviting him to your birthday party next month. Write a letter to your friend asking him to check whether naiwan mo nga yung jacket nung nanood kayo ng theater 2 months ago. Kasi pupunta ka sa state niya this week, baka pwede mong daanan. So, informal yon. Write a letter to your mother, write a letter to your sister. Yan, informal siya. Tanong, susulatan mo si accommodation officer. Formal, informal? Formal. Susulatan mo si local newspaper. Formal, informal? Formal. Susulatan mo si neighbor. Formal, informal? Formal. Dahil ang kapitbahay ay hindi naman natin kaibigan o kamag-anak. Except dito kasi sa Pilipinas, kaya nakakalito tong konteksto ng neighbor dahil kadalasan yung mga kamag-anak natin ay sila din yung mga kapitbahay natin. Kasi sila nag-aagawan doon sa lupa ng mga magulang nila dati. So hinati-hati nila yon kaya sila magkakapitbahay. Okay? Pero in the context of IELTS writing, particularly ang topic mo dyan, nasa Canada ka, tapos manghihiram ka ng lawn mower sa neighbor mo, formal yun. Kasi hindi naman talaga kayo talaga personal na magkakilala. Clear? Yan. Opening statement. Paano ang opening remarks dyan? So kung kay formal, madalas natin gamitin ito, si dear sir / madam or madam. No? Dear plus given name. Pag given name, buong pangalan kasi formal context eh. Dear Dr. Jack Cruz. Okay? Buo. Dear Mr. Dear Miss Julie Vega. Example lang. Sir, ang nakita ko po dyan, dear blank. Dahil sobrang masunurin ako, sir, sa'yo. Sabi mo, kung ano yung nakalagay doon, yun na yun lang ang kokopyahin ko. Sobrang masunurin ko, sir, pati yung blank nilagay ko. Ang ibig sabihin po nung blanco doon, ikaw ang maglalagay nung something doon. Nagkakaintindihan? Kung ang context ng letter, tingnan nyo ha, intindihin nyo mabuti. Kung ang context na nakalagay doon sa prompt, write a letter to your boss. Thanking him for 15 years here in the company kasi magre-resign ka na. Natural, dapat alam mo yung pangalan ng boss mo. Nagkakaintindihan? So, kung Dear Blank yung nakalagay doon sa dulo, Dear Mr. Rick Sanchez. Oh, buong pangalan. Kasi yun yung boss mo eh. Comma. Okay. Sir, ang nakalagay po kasi, write a letter to the librarian. So, ang librarian, nag-iiba-iba kasi siya ng nag-shift sa iba-ibang araw. So, halimbawa, Monday, iba na katao. Tuesday, iba na katao. So, may kilala kang librarian doon kasi nga, doon ka nang hiram eh. Tas, Dear Blank. Wait lang, ma'am, ha? Nahin ko lang to kasi baka mawala. So, ang ilalagay mo dyan, dahil hindi ka sure sa name, Dear Sir / Madam. Dyan ang ating sandalan. Palagi. At wag na wag kakalimutan yung comma kasi malaking part yan ng grammar assessment. So, ulitin natin. If you're not so sure what to write doon sa ating special instruction na Dear Blank, you can just go simply by Dear Sir / Madam.
Sir, kailangan ko po ba yung middle name? Or
Hindi naman na. Hindi naman na siya
not
required.
the full name?
Yes. First name, last name, given name. Pwede rin po tayo mag-last name basis dito. Dear Mrs. Sanchez, Dear Mr. De La Cruz, Dear Attorney Santos. Yan. So, pwede po na last name basis lang. Kasi, yun ang context ng formal writing. Sir, ang nakalagay po kasi, begin your letter with Dear Sir / Madam, colon. Ang sinulat mo, Dear Sir or Miss, comma. Ito yung nakalagay sa instruction. Ito yung sinulat mo. Tama o mali ang sinulat mo? Mali. Yan ay isang halimbawa ng hindi marunong sumunod sa instruction. At malaki ang kabawasan niyan sa inyong score. Kasi ang isip ng examiner dyan, kaya kami naglagay ng instruction. Kasi ang GT, madali lang eh. Sila yung mga nag-a-apply ng mga immigrant visa, skilled work visa. Kailangan lang namin malaman na may basic knowledge kayo sa English. You can follow simple instructions. Kaya naman kung inilagay ko dyan, ang instruction ko, Dear Sir / Madam with colon. Tapos binago mo, ginawa mo ng Dear Sir, even / Madam, comma. Imbis na colon ang ilagay mo, comma ang nilagay mo. Ang dating sa akin yan as the examiner, hindi ka sumusunod sa mga simpleng instruction. Tulad ng bawal tumawid dito. Di ba? O bawal mag-left turn dito. So kung ipapasa kita at pupunta ka dito sa bansa ko, baka mamatay ka lang, masagasaan ka, makabangga ka. Ba't kita ipapasa? Yan. Kaya sila naglalagay ng mga simpleng instruction sa ganyan. Ang laking bawas yan sa score pag hindi mo sinunod yung instruction nila. So kung ang nakalagay doon, colon, at ang tinuturo ko by default, comma, susundin mo pa rin kung ano yung nandoon sa instruction na binigay sa'yo. Huwag mong iibahin yon. Dahil pag iniba mo yon, yun ang ibig sabihin nun para sa kanila. That you can't follow even the simplest forms of instructions. So, huwag na wag gagawin yun. Kung gusto mo mag-aksaya ng 13,000, palit-palitan ko nga ito. Sa'yo yun. Gawin mo. Kung gusto mo namang sulit, ang binayad mo, one take ka lang, sundin mo kung nandun. Clear? Yan. Sa informal, madalas po ang Dear Blank. Nakuha? Sa informal, madalas ang Dear Blank. Nakalagay sa question, write a letter to your mom. So, ilalagay mo dyan, Dear Hermenihilda P. Manalastas. Ganyan ka ba sumulat sa nanay mo? Hindi, di ba? Hindi mo binubuo yung pangalan nun eh. Nanay mo yun eh. O paano lang? Dear mom. Ganun lang kasimple. Pet name, first name basis. Don't be afraid to put whatever name you please. Huwag lang yung mga super Tagalog naman na pangalan. Like, Dear Chapjap. Ganyan. Mga umuulit na pangalan. Ano? Dear Tintin. Lahat na sa atin, may boy, may bebe, may Tintin, may Tantan. So, wag lang yung mga umuulit na mga pangalan. Clear? Ito, medyo mapapalaban tayo. Medyo magtatagal tayo ng konti dito. Kasi perhaps, I consider this to be the most important part of your letter. It's the introductory paragraph. Ulit. Introductory paragraph is the most important part of your letter. Sabi dyan sa formal, begin with introducing who you are without saying your name. Kaya mo bang magpakilala nang hindi mo sasabihin yung pangalan mo? Ang hirap, di ba? Sir, ginagawa mo ba kaming tanga? Paano namin gagawin yan? Yung begin with introducing who you are without saying your name. Actually, kaya yan. Ang hahanapin mo sa letter, yung role mo. Ano bang role mo sa letter? What role are you playing in the letter? So, doon sa context na you share in a room in college with another student, you would like to change for a request of accommodation, a new accommodation. So, anong role mo doon? Sa kang student, tenant, di ba? O boarder. Okay? O bumili ka ng laptop at may nakita kang defect. Gusto mo siyang isoli. Ano ka doon? Buyer? Consumer? Customer. At pakiayos po ang spelling ng customer kasi madalas namamali sila ng spelling sa customer. Naging costumer. So, mauuna mo na yung U bago yung O. Again ha, spelling. Napaka-importante yan sa grammar. Okay? So, papakilala mo lang na, good day, I'm a customer who bought an Asus VivoBook laptop 2 days ago in your shop. Yun yung first sentence. Kailangan mo ng purpose. So, dalawa po ang bumubuo sa ating introductory paragraph. So, we have the introduction of who you are plus the purpose. Hindi po magpa-function ang letter kung wala po yung purpose na naka-attach. Pag sinabi po natin purpose, ano ang reason bakit ka gumawa ng letter in the first place? What is the reason behind it? Dapat, as early as the introduction, nandun na agad. Dahil pag wala yun, mababa ang task response score and cohesion score mo. So, paano ba gumawa ng purpose? Bakit ka nagsulat ng letter? Sagutin mo na agad, second sentence. So, ano? Halimbawa, nakalagay doon sa task prompt. Write a letter to the landlord, excuse me, about the heating problems of your house. So, di ba? Ang weird kasi dito sa Pilipinas, hindi naman tayo nag-heater. Sa kanila, may heater. Di ba? So, I am writing. Pakilala ka dyan. Good day. I am one of the new tenants of your apartment here in San Diego. Wow. I am writing this letter to inform you that the heating system of the house is malfunctioning or has a problem. Kung ayaw mong, kasi tinan mo yung is malfunctioning, hirap i-spell eh. Has a problem. Tapos ang introduction.
Sir, ano bang tingin mo sa mga preposition na mga A, N? Counted siya.
As counted, yes. Yung mga is, yung mga a problem, word yan. Yung the, word yan. Kasi nga articles sila. They are words. Counted yan. Diba? Tapos, ang introduction, ganun lang siyang kasimple. Huwag na huwag kakalimutan ang I am writing to complain about, I'm writing to request for, I'm writing to invite you, I'm writing to tell you about, I'm writing this letter with my intention of resigning from my post of your social media manager. Sabihin mo yung intention. I'm writing this letter because I would like you to check the plumbing of the house because the water pressure is low. O, sabihin mo rin yan. Sabihin mo kung anong reason, anong purpose, ba't ka nagsulat. Kasi ang dami pong nakakalimutan yan. At pag nakalimutan yan, kung imbis na makaka-7 ka siguro, 6 na lang. Dahil wala yan. So, kailangan po yung part na yan. Clear? Okay. Tanong po sa formal introductory paragraph. Good day. I rode your bus last week. I'm one of the passengers who rode your bus last week and I'm writing this letter to make a complaint about my suitcase which got damaged during the trip. Tapos, ang introduction. Di ba? Ang dali. Laging merong purpose. Ngayon, dumako na tayo sa informal sector. So, sa informal, nakalagay dyan ha, malaking malaki. Napakalaki. Gawin nating dilaw para kitang-kita. Do not introduce who you are. Bakit po kaya? Kilala mo na eh. Gago ka ba? Papakilala ka. Nilagay mo dyan. Dear Hermenegilda P. Manalastas, I have been your son for 32 years. Di ba? Anak mo ako, ano? Anak mo talaga kita. Ang weird eh. Di ba? So you don't introduce who you are. So sir, ano kaya ang ipapalit natin yan? Kasi syempre dahil tatanggalin natin introduction, may mawawala eh, di ba? Sayang din yung mga 12, 14 words eh. Ang ipapalit mo dyan, inquiry. Sabi, inquiry. I-inquire mo yung reader mo how he or she is doing or perhaps how you are doing. So, sa Tagalog, kamustahan? O, di ba? Hi, kahit mag-exclamation point ka dyan, informal yan, pwede. Di ba? Hi, how are you? Di ba? I hope that you are doing great. I am doing just as good here in Canada. Although I did not expect it to be so cold here. You can expect ganito palang kalamig. Anyway, I wrote this letter to invite you and your family to my son's birthday party next month. Next week, syempre, Canada ka, Pilipinas, papadala mo pa yan eh. Mag-reply pa sila. Next month naman, para makapili pa sila ng ticket, di ba? Oh, tuldok. Ganyan ang introduction. Kamustahan? Kaya nga. Lalaroin mo yan. Andyan yung laro sa informal. I hope you're doing great. I'm doing just as good here in Canada. Kahit to, I'm doing great. Anyway, pwede mo rin tanggalin to. Asa sa'yo? So, mo tanggalin, so ibalik. Walang problema. Okay?
Mas nandun sa formal, sir, straight to the point.
Straight to the point. Walang paligoy-ligoy dito, kamustahan. Sige, tanong ka. Interesado ka eh, hindi ka naman GT eh. Dahil mong tanong eh.
Sir, kailangan po ba yung yung kahit na yung sa introduction parang nandun na, pero yung body niya, hindi na pinapaliwanag kung ano yung purpose?
Huwag mo nang problemahin. Hindi mo problema. Ulitin ko lang ha, wala pa tayo sa body. Nasa introduction pa lang tayo. Yung body kung ano yung purpose niya, papaliwanag ko isa-isa yan. Masyado kang invested dito, hindi ka naman pan dito eh. Tapos hindi ko mararamdaman sa yan kapag nag-writing task mo ng ACAD. Middle paragraph, this is where you cover all 3 bullet points. Dito mo na ilalagay yung detail. Kaya nga doon sa introduction, limited lang po muna tayo sa kung formal, introduce who you are without saying your name, plus the purpose, and Kung informal, inquiry plus purpose. Once again, hindi mawawala ang purpose. Mapa-formal or informal yon. Nakalagay siya directly. I am writing this letter because. Huwag kakalimutan yon. For middle paragraph, this is where you cover all 3 bullet points. This is where you give the detail. If you miss to cover any single one of them, you fail. You will get a grade of 4 in task response, just like that. If you get a bullet point question telling you to introduce yourself, you do not have to reintroduce yourself in the middle paragraph since you should have done that in the introductory paragraph. Instead, you can add more detail as to who you are. So kung nilagay mo doon, nakalagay, introduce yourself. So nilagay mo doon, hi, I am one of your bank account holders here in your branch, and I'm writing this letter because I would like to avail the subscription of your premium credit card services. So pag sinabi dong introduce, so yung next paragraph, dun mo ipapaliwanag na I have been a loyal customer for 8 long years now, and I have only been using my silver membership for your credit card. I will be purchasing a luxury car in 2 months. That is why I would like to avail the premium card, which will allow me to save a lot of money. Yun yung dagdag na info. Hindi mo ipapakilala na ako nga pala si ganito, na ako'y ganyan. Magdadagdag ka lang ng additional detail, but that it does not necessarily require you to reintroduce yourself the way how you introduce yourself at the beginning. Kasi pag ganon, it will make your essay, it will make your letter appear silly since you have already done that. Ayaw nila ng mga repetitive information. Action paragraph is where you state the action you want the recipient of the letter to undertake, or if appropriate your action, mag-iimbento ka dyan. Naturally, yung second sentence ng introduction mo at si action paragraph, inline yan sa isa't isa. Dahil yung second sentence, nandun, I am writing this letter because I want to. So, dapat inline si action paragraph dun sa second sentence. Bigyan ko kayo ng tip. Ilang bullet point nakikita natin sa letter? 3, di ba? So, describe the situation, explain why it's difficult to work, and say what kind of accommodation you would prefer. So, nakalagay sa second sentence ng intro, I am writing this letter because I would like to make a request for you to change my accommodation. Tapos, dun sa action paragraph, i-recall mo siya na I would like you to change my accommodation from sharing with this student into my own room, if you have available single room, or perhaps be together with another student with the same course as mine. Kasi nga, yung isang kasama mo sa course ay engineering siya, nursing ka, so ikaw medyo panggabi, so maaga ka natutulog, siya naman, baliktad kayo. So, nagkakaroon kayo ng clash ng schedule. So, invent sa action paragraph. Si concluding paragraph, nandyan yung thank you for taking time reading my letter. If you need more information, you can reach me at. So, lagay mo yung cellphone number mo, lagay mo yung email mo, pwede din. Do not apologize if you're making a formal complaint. Wag ka magsasorry. Ikaw na nga nagawa ng kasalanan, ikaw pa magsasorry. Ano ka? Asawang lalaki? No? Di ba? Misis mo may kasalanan, ikaw pa rin magsasorry para magkabati kayo. So, doon lang po gumagana yun. Nasa bawal kang mag-apologize kung ikaw yung naka-receive ng problem. Halimbawa, nasira yung aircon ng car na nirentahan mo. Mag-apologize ka? Hindi. Sila dapat mag-sorry. Na dapat palitan nila to. Yeah. So, medyo demanding ng konti yung tono. Pero naman sobrang yabang. Na, I have a gun. No? I put a bullet in your head. Huwag naman gano'n. Nagbabanta. Letter lang to. Masyadong seryosohin. Ano? Galit na galit ka. Letter. No? I will sue you. See you in court. Huwag naman yung mga gano'n. No? Okay. Kailan ka mag-apologize? Kung nakalagay ka dun sa imaginary scenario na apologize. For example, you caused too much noise in your apartment. I would like to take this time to apologize for any trouble might have caused you. Rest assured that this will not happen again. and in case that this occasion will happen, I will inform you ahead of time and will limit noise by as early as 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock pa lang, wala nang karaoke. Yan. I look forward to hearing from you. Please do not hesitate to call me if you need more information. Please feel free to write to me if. My office email is, you can call me at home on apologizing. So bigyan ko kayo ng isang halimbawa dyan. Sir, eto ha, i-upload ko din naman to. Oh. So pag kasama to, mismong buo na to, meron ka ng copy. Para hindi mo naman siyang picturean ng picturean. Sayang lang sa ano yan. Sa memory. Didelete mo rin naman. Matatabunin lang din naman yan ng mga Starbucks photos. Ganyan. Diba? Ito na, sa ending na tayo. Thank you for taking time reading my letter. I would like to hear from you soon with some good news. Should you need to get in touch, I would be more than glad to receive a call from you at my number, my home phone number, 626-5413. Yan. So, bilangan mo kailan yan, oh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44. 44 words! Nasa concluding paragraph ka. Sama mo pa yung sincerely yours, pangalan mo, nasa 50 na yon. Dear Sir, Madam, introduction, mga nasa 70 words to. So, GT, hindi ka kakapusin ng words.
Sir, pwede po sumobra ng...
Oo, sobra talaga dapat. So, we're looking for 170 to 220 at least. Pwedeng lumagpas ka ng 220 kasi ako minsan sobrang ganado ako, hindi ko na malayan. 230 na pala yung number of words.
Tapos po yung number, yung 0997,
Ah.
ilang words po yung...
As a whole, isang word yan. Grabe ka naman kung bawat isang number makakount. Tsaka bakit ba invested ka? Hindi naman yung tatson mo. Kato, sana ganyan di energy mo pag akad na, no? Totoo. Oo, kasi hindi ko narinig ilang buwan ka nang enrolled, isa?
Isang linggo pa.
Isang linggo.
Yes.
Oh, nag-lecture ako ng replay nung Martes. Nakagawa ka ba? Oh, at wala kang tanong doon.
Kasi po akala ko po,
Akad ka. Okay? Mag-GGT ka lang sa US kapag may asawa kang kano. Yun lang. No? Mas madali. Yan ang exam mo nun. Meron kang fiancé na AFAM. Kuha? O magti-TNT ka? Yun. Okay. Recipient's name is unknown. So, paano yung closing dyan? Sincerely yours sincerely. Guys, careful ha kasi yung mga spelling, minsan nakakalimutan yung extra E dito na may E siya talaga. At yung comma, nakakalimutan din yan. Kung informal naman, madalas kong gamitin si love kapag kamag-anak. Pero pag susulatan ko yung kaibigan, best wishes lang. Comma. Best wishes, dahil yun ay informal, Kevin, hindi mo na kailangan buuin yung pangalan. Okay? So, lagay yung pa best friend sa ilalim. Hindi pwede. Magta-title ka lang kapag nasa formal. Masyado kang self-proclaimed, no? Alright. So, yan lang. Kapag formal, include an appropriate title based on the context below your name. Student, tenant, client, customer, pwede din. So ito yung sample natin na parang nadagdagan yata tayo sa Zoom. Ayun no? Si Chad, si Nova, Seth. Chad, Nova, are you really sure na kayo ay mga GT? Kasi once again this is GT letter writing intended for general training test takers. GT ba talaga kayo? So wala silang sagot, wala silang pakialam. Sige, tuloy natin. So you should spend about 20 minutes on this task. Opo daw, sabi ni Nova. Which you share with another student. So itong student na to, kailangan pagmukay natin siyang masama. No? Siya ang may problema. However, there are many problems with this arrangement and you find it very difficult to work. Describe the situation, explain your problem, and say what kind of accommodation you would prefer. Write at least 150. You don't need to write any addresses. Begin your letter as follows. Dear Sir or Madam, or sometimes Dear Sir/Miss, I'll be using this instead. Pati call na nun kasama. Kuha? Okay. Ayun o. Nakuha ba? I currently reside in the College Halls of Residence. So, nagpakilala. And I am writing to request a change of accommodation. At the moment, I share the room with Mia Khalifa. Although she and I really get on well as people, we have very different studying habits. She works best at night and often studies until 3 or 4. Of course, she has the lights on and eats, both of which is served by sleep. Kain daw ng kain, no? Kasi hindi pa ilaw. Ako naman, syempre, dahil tulog ako, no? I-istorbo yung pagtulog ko. I, on the other hand, prefer to wake up on the break of dawn and study before going to college. After 2 weeks of this arrangement, I find that I'm constantly tired as a result of not being able to sleep well, and this in turn is adversely affecting my studies. Apektuhan na niya yung grades ko dahil sa ganitong problema namin. I feel that I would only be able to study well if I have a single room and do not have to share. Given these extenuating circumstances, I would be grateful if you could arrange this for me. Thank you for taking time reading my letter. I apologize for any inconvenience that this will cause you, and I look forward to hear from you soon with some good news. Should you need to get in touch, I will be more than glad to receive a call from you. You can reach me at 0927-886-7745. Yours faithfully, huwag kalimutan ng comma, Lexi Lore sa ilalim, student. Okay po? Yeah. Ito naman ay informal. Nag-migrate ka daw sa ibang bansa. Susulatan mo yung friend mo na nakatira din sa ibang bansa na yon. Tell him or her why you chose this country. Describe your new place of residence. Propose a meeting with your friend. Write at least 150 words. You do not need to write any addresses. Begin your letter as follows. Dear blank. So, ikaw maglalagay ng pangalan ni friend. So, ito na. Dear Brian, I just arrived here in Shanghai 3 days ago and I have to say I did not expect it to be so cold here. This makes me miss a tropical heat in the Philippines so much. It is a good thing that I always have a piece of the Philippines here since I have friends like you living here as well. I wrote this letter to invite you a simple get-together a week or 2 from now. So this is a letter of invitation. If I'm not mistaken, lagyan natin yung bullet point. Describe your new place of residence. You told me that you live in the downtown area of the city. Although I think you were slightly exaggerating, when you talked about how noisy it is there, I considered the slight probability that you might be telling the truth. I followed your advice and decided to rent a flat in the outskirts of the city because my work is close to the area. The place is a bit shabby, but it has its charms. The neighbors are friendly, and my house is close to the roads, to the shops, and to my work. Honestly, the only flaw I can think of is that the place gets eerily quiet at times. I miss the ruckus we used to make together in our office back in Moraitat to somehow make my new pad more reminiscent of what once was. I'm commanding as a friend to drop by here soon. I will cook your favorite rice dish in insane quantities if you promise to visit me. Thank you in advance for saying yes, my very good friend, Love, Richard. So parang may something kay Richard siya kay Brian. Kaya tinan nyo, pag magkaibigan, best wishes ang ginagamit ko, hindi love, no? Okay. So, Makita tayo ng iba pang sample. So ito, kumain ka daw sa isang restaurant. Susulat ka sa newspaper to tell them about it. Describe the meal and why you think the restaurant is worth visiting. Ang karamihan po sa nagkakamali ng nagsusulat po ng letter na to, akala nilang susulatan nila yung restaurant. Restaurant, thank you! Hindi po, ang susulatan mo dito si newspaper. Na pinapakilala mo na, alam mo ba, newspaper, nakakain kami sa restaurant na to, ang sarap. So dapat ma-feature nyo to sa newspaper nyo para maraming makadiskubre, sumikat siya at mapasalamatan natin ng gusto yung ganda ng services ng restaurant. Yun. So dapat may pangalan ng restaurant. O ano magandang pangalan ng restaurant?
Milas Lechon.
O Milas Lechon Restaurant. Huwag naman yung lechon kasi nga, ano yan Tagalog word. At yun ang magiging problema dyan. Yun sa describe the meal you had. So ilalagay mo dyan. We ate sugpo, adobo, lechon, ano pa, dinakdakan, liempo, lahat yun, Tagalog, lahat yun, mali. O, diba? Kaya naman, pag nag-describe ka ng meal, kailangan English din. Kasi ang mga mag-check dyan, ang mga examiner kasi, hindi Pinoy Sa 33 active examiners ng British Council dito sa atin, parang 3 lang ang Pinoy, 30 doon, iba-ibang lahi. May Canadian, may Brazilian, meron kang taga Egypt, no? Meron kang examiner from New Zealand. So, anong alam nila sa dinakdakan? Diba? Iba nga, hindi alam. Kahit nasa ibang lugar ka, iba-iba yung pangalan ng putahe sa atin, hindi natin alam So, gusto mo magsabi ng local dish? Englishin mo yun. Bawa, kare-kare. Ano English ang kare-kare? Oh. Ox stripe in peanut sauce. May bagong with sauteed shrimp paste. Puta, ayun, di ba? Oh, kare-karing may bagong. Di ba? Ano pa? Dinuguan. Pork and blood stew. Yan. Tinumis. With tamarind leaves. Yan. Nakuha pa?
Pero ano yung mga pinaka-common na kung ganyan po yung tinatakal na issue? Ano po yung mga pinaka-common na alam ng examiner?
Na ano?
Na pagkain?
Yan. Kumain kayo sa isang Japanese restaurant, sushi na lang. Oh. California Maki. At least yun, pasta. Anong pasta? Crab meat pasta. Ano pa? Carbonara. Their cheese tastes amazing. O, di ba? Ganun lang. Kailangan mo lang naman dito, mga pa 30 at 40 kasi. Mga 20, 30 words, nandun na sa introduction. Yung 40 words, sa conclusion. 60 na agad yun. Kailangan mo na lang 90. Yun na lang bubunuin mo, may action paragraph ka pa. Di ba? Example, you eat at your college cafeteria every lunchtime. However, you think it needs some improvements. Write a letter to the college magazine. In your letter, explain what you like about the cafeteria. So, nag-introduce ka. Good day, I am Kevin Mangalabnan. Huwag mo nang banggitin yung buong pangalan, bawal nga pala. I am a student, currently second year in the college. Nursing student, currently second year in the college. I wrote this letter because I would like to offer my suggestions to improve our school cafeteria. So, first paragraph ng body. What you like about the cafeteria. Highlight mo. No? There are amazing things about our cafeteria. For one, they offer very economical price. The cost is less expensive than restaurants outside or eatery outside. Huwag na sabing karinderya, eatery po ang English na. Another would be the convenience because the cafeteria is strategically located just below our room. Sa baba ka lang agdan, ando na. So yung 1 hour nating break, talaga namang na-maximize. Nakakatulog pa kami pagkatapos namin kumain, no? Punta ka sa sunod na paragraph, say what is wrong with it. Anong mali sa cafeteria? Walang exhaust. So yung amoy ng ulam doon, yun yung amoy mo pagbalik mo ng hapon. So kung paksiw yung ulam mo doon, paksiw yung amoy mo pag akyat mo. So hindi ka na ngayon pinapansin ni Crush kasi amoy kang paksiw. Diba? Ano pa? Makalawang yung mga chair. Old and rusty. The chairs and tables are old and rusty, which makes it stain on the clothes. Diba? Kakalawangin yung clothes. Kayo naglalaba. Diba? So being a college student who washes his own clothes, it is very inconvenient for me to remove rust stains. Suggest how it could be improved. Anong suggestion mo para improve siya? So, paano magkakaroon ng exhaust? Sabihin ba natin, maglagay kayo ng exhaust. So, magkasuggest ka nga eh. So, we can have, hindi. Magkaroon tayo ng mga programs so that we can gain budget to install exhaust fans in the cafeteria, such as CookFest and Fun Runs. O yung mga registration fee, magagamit yun para dun sa cafeteria. Paano naman yung pagpipintura? So, the student body can now ask for volunteers to help in repainting the chairs. So, the paint budget can come from dun sa Fun Run and CookFest. Doon din natin kukunin. Ito maganda to. You cannot go to a company where you got an offer. Write a letter to the HR supervisor to explain the reason why you declined the offer. So halimbawa, nag-apply ka 3 months ago sa isang company sa Africa. Okay? Sa Copenhagen, South Africa. Malaki sahod. Tapos, na-accept ka. Pero, hindi mo tatanggapin yung acceptance nila. I-decline mo. Bakit? Dahil yung asawa mo nabuntis. So, hindi mo siya maiwan because sensitive yung pregnancy niya. Sabihin mo sa kanya, before I applied to your company, my wife was not yet pregnant. But recently, we found out that she is currently on her first trimester, which is very sensitive. Therefore, I am required to be with her at all times. My current work, lalagay mo dyan explain why you like your current job very much. Lalagay mo doon sa dulo na I would be choosing my current job for the moment because it is only 2 blocks away from my house. Sa putya, pagbaba mo, yun 7-Eleven ka nagtatrabaho 7-Eleven, di ba? So, doon muna ako kaysa sa South Africa. Ngayon, explain your gratitude doon sa middle paragraph. Sabi mo na, I am very thankful for being chosen as one of the corporate secretary of your company there in Copenhagen, South Africa. But yan, paliwanag mo sa kanya. So, kailangan magalang pa rin ng pag-decline. Hindi puro pera lang po ang dahilan ba't i-decline. Kasi mukha tayong pera pag gano'n. No? So, dear sir. Sir, pwede bang dear sir or madam dyan? Dito? Kalagay na nga, dear sir, or madam ka pa, sampaling kita ngayon dyan Susundin ang instruction. Okay. Ito naman, ibebenta mo yung, ganito yung mga topic ha. Ibebenta mo yung TV mo. You think a friend of yours might like to buy it from you. So bakit ibebenta mo daw yung TV? Pang sugal. Okay, huwag nyo ilalagay yan. No, pang scatter po, hindi po. Okay, describe the TV. Yun, pwede mga ganyan, di ba? Pwede mga ganyan. Ano pa? O pwedeng nakabili ka ng bago. Luma to, di ba? Ano pa? Yung ginamit ko situation dyan, pupunta ka na lang Canada in 2 weeks Flight mo na Ba't dadali mo yung TV mo doon? So gagawin mo, bebenta mo yung TV mo dito para mapagbebenta. Yun ang pambibili mo ng TV doon. Yan. Hi, Gary! Dear Gary, I hope you're doing well. I'm doing fine, though my life is quite hectic at the moment because I'm moving abroad and there's so much to do. I wrote this letter because I would like to sell something to you. There are a few things that I can take with me because they're too big, so I'm seeing if any of my friends would be interested in buying them. One of the things I don't want to take with me is my TV, and I thought you might like to buy it off me for a cheap price. It's a 32-inch flat-screen TV. It's a Philips model. It has a USB port, so you can just Plug in a thumb drive to watch movies or listen to music. It has a great stereo surround sound. As you know, I'm leaving the country at the end of the month, which is only 2 weeks away. So if you want to see it, it would be best to come on the 20th or 21st. That will give me time to sell it elsewhere if you're not interested. Okay, look forward to seeing you. Let me know if you can't make it. Best wishes, John. Ayan. Yan, ang dami, oh. Ito naman, nag-exercise ka daw, member ka ng gym, na-notice mo na yung mga tao doon sa gym, hindi sila nagwa-wipe ng mga machine. Siyempre, pag ganon, unang-una, kadiri yun. Pangalawa, pwedeng makadulas yun. Tapos yung mga towel nila, iniiwan lang nila doon sa bench ng changing rooms. So, write a letter to Mr. Cotto. So, begin your letter with, Dear Mr. Cotto. Yan din talaga ang introduction. Dear Mr. Cotto. Okay. Explain who you are. Mr. Cotto, ako ay pag-gym na sa maraming gym. No? At recently, lumipat ako dito sa atin. Yun nga. Napansin ko na yung mga dati kong gym, na-implement nila ng maigi yung rules. Pero dito, hindi masyado. Kaya, ang problema natin dyan, pwede magpagmula nyo ng aksidente. Diba? Make suggestion to improve the gym. So, ito po yung buong letter na ginawa ko. Dear Mr. Cotto, I'm a new member of the gym and I'm quite liking the setup you got here. However, I noticed some problems. That is why I wrote this letter to you to raise these concerns and offer my suggestions as well. I have been a member of many different gyms in the past and I honestly consider your establishment to be one of the best. Siyempre, utoy mo muna yan. Oh, maganda sa'yo. Pero, there are many concerns about the gym use in general that could potentially lead to accidents. You see, not all the members follow simple gym etiquette. I noticed that they do not wipe the equipment after they use them. In addition, they leave their towels in the locker room, which I stepped on that made me hurt my knees when I fell. Nadulas ako eh. Gawa-gawa lang ito, hindi naman totoo eh. Sumakit nga yung tuhod ko eh. Nevertheless, the minor problems by the members not following the simple instructions can be resolved if the gym instructors will just enforce the rules. I also recommend briefing the new members well and to reorient the current users about the regulations to keep the gym and its equipment clean and safe. Thank you for your time reading my letter. I hope to see some changes in our gym. Yours sincerely, Kevin. Ito naman, na-hurt daw ako sa isang minor accident ng supermarket at magko-complain ako sa supermarket. So, pwede nyo na lang siyang basahin. Itong mga sample ko na to. Tingnan nyo 7 minutes ko lang itong ginawa. Yan. Ito naman, 7 minutes ko lang din ginawa. Ito, 7 minutes din. Ito, 6. Dami po akong sample. So, pagbabasahin na ang letter. So, ito po ang assignment nyo. So, sa mga naka-join pa din, kay Chad, kay Seth, si Nova, umalis na. Paki-screenshot ito. Your employer has recently allowed some employees to work remotely from home. You would also like to work from home. Meron na akong sample dyan. Nagawan ko na din yan. Paki-screenshot dahil yan po ang gagawin nyo na assignment. Letters. Kailan checking? Next week. O kung dating kayo, bukas, pwede nyo siya ipacheck sa akin. Tomorrow. Kung matatapos siya ngayon, pwede nyo siyang pa-check sa akin. After ng klase, of course. Again clarify ko lang, ang klase bukas ay 1:00. So, ito yung question natin today. Your next door neighbor owns a small dog that barks throughout the day and the night. Yan. Tahol ng tahol yung aso niya. Your next door neighbor owns a small dog that barks throughout the day and night. Lang ha, nakakuha lang ako ng tubig at nakuha na ako. Your next door neighbor owns a small dog that barks throughout the day and the night. Diyan pa lang, naiintindihan nyo na, no? Okay? Write a letter to your neighbor. Requesting that something be done about the dog. Include in your letter your reason for writing, which is nakalagay na dun sa introduction. What you like to happen. Dear Sir, anong oras na para maorasan natin? 11:08:19. Dear Sir / Madam, good day. I am one of your next door neighbors who just moved in last week. I noticed the non-stop barking of your dog, and I am asking whether you can do something to minimize the barking, the noise. Just recently, my wife and I moved here in the subdivision since it offers a great atmosphere for us and our 6-month-old son. As you can understand, babies are sensitive with the noise. That is why we use a white noise generator to somehow muffle the barking of your dog. But to no avail. Wala pa rin nangyayari. Yun, ma'am. Oh, thank you, ma'am. Therefore, I have made this attempt to let you know how unbearable the barking of your dog is, even throughout the night. I would like to suggest that you hire a dog walker in order for your dog to reduce its energy, since the breed of your dog has tons of it that needs to be expelled. Kailangan niya mailabas. May I suggest my sister, who is a professional dog walker, and her fees is way below the usual. This way, we can solve the problem of your dog's high energy and non-stop barking. Thank you for taking time reading this letter. If you need more info, please contact me at my number 634-9872. Sincerely, Kevin Monglabdan. Yan. Tapos, 11:23, 11:18, 6 minutes ko lang ginawa. Okay? So, bilangin natin ilang words. Kung kulang pa, o sakto na. Bilangin lang natin kung ilang words. So, 205. Sakto, pwede na. Alright. So, thank you, Chad and Seth. At sa mga manonood po ng replay natin na GT later, again, naka-attach naman na yung assignment nyo. Pwede nyong basahin paulit-ulit yung mga samples ko dun sa PDF na i-attach ko. I'll post it on our group. I'll post it on our Discord server so that you will be notified immediately once the video is already up. Don't forget to subscribe din sa YouTube natin, ano? Hindi po monetize yun. Naka-private po yung mga videos ko, no? Kayo lang po pwedeng makakita. Para pag naka-subscribe kayo, pina-public premiere ko kasi siya. Kapag na-post yon, automatic, meron kang notification na, nag-upload na si Kevin ng public premiere na video. Okay? So, yun lang. Have a nice day. God bless and good luck. Bye-bye.